Hi, Scott Marshall with A&N Mortgage here. I'm here with Exit Strategy Realty's 3 realtors who also happen to be family members, the Garay family. We got Anthony, Andrew, and Victoria here. Hi, welcome everyone.
Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. So the first question I want to ask too, unrelated to real estate, I'm going to ask your sister. What's it like growing up with 2 twin brothers? Okay. Were they able to trick you when you were younger? Were they able to trick your mom?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. They tricked everyone.
What do you remember them doing? What was the most devious thing you remember them doing when you were younger?
Oh my goodness. It was all the little things,
Right.
right? So my brothers would like hide things or they would bury things in the backyard. So when I'm like at night looking for things so I can get ready for bed, my combs and things will be buried in the backyard. And they'll be like, oh, I got it, sister, don't worry. And it's like a stick in the backyard with like a little mound, and they're like digging up my personal belongings.
Nice.
If we got a reward for finding it, we'll get it quicker, you know?
So there wasn't one of you that did it. It was a group effort usually.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they knew if I wouldn't look at their faces, I didn't know who it was. So they would like turn their backs and run sideways,
Right.
so that I didn't know who to get in trouble.
Nice. What do you guys remember doing that was?
Oh, man. Just being twins, you know, you get in trouble.
Everyone locking her out the house when she checks the mail.
Nice.
No, but yeah, we were outdoorsy a lot. We were outside a lot. We had 2 actually fraternal twin neighbors that lived next door.
Wow.
So I was in Norridge, yeah, we got a lot of trouble with them.
Now you guys are also one of the only families that I could say too that you have lived almost every spot in the Chicagoland neighborhood.
Yeah.
You live in the south side, live in the north side,
Yeah.
western suburbs, northwest suburbs.
Yes.
What do you think, what kind of unique perspective do you think that gives you when shopping your clients in those areas too?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, I think it gives us a broader view. I think a lot of people are very used to their area and maybe have some like stereotypes or just some judgments about other areas. But we're like, we've been there, you know, we know what it's like to live in these different areas. We've seen the areas change over time. So I think it just gives us a broader look at Chicago and all that it has to offer, and helps us to help our clients, you know, kind of navigate if they need to maybe look in a different area that they're not used to or familiar with. We can give them some insight on what we've seen happen in the area over the last few years.
Sure.
And just kind of direct them to, you know, what may be a good fit for them based on what they're looking for.
Gotcha. And you lived in Pilsen yourself, so you've
Yes.
seen an area that was completely redeveloped,
Yes.
re-energized, revitalized, and added value to the city. The property values there obviously have increased exponentially. So, since you were there too. Where do you live right now?
So I am further south now, but I am planning to move back to the Pilsen area because I do like Pilsen.
Okay.
That is, yeah, of all the areas that I have lived in more recently, that's an area that's just so walkable. And that, like I said, I've seen the growth there,
Sure.
and I've built community there. So one of the things about moving to different areas is sometimes you don't feel like you have one place that's community
Sure.
that you can look at, but you do feel like you have all of Chicago at the same time.
Right.
But Pilsen did give me that. And it's a double good balance because the long-term residents don't always see those changes as positives.
Right.
So it's just helping people navigate the, you know, knowing what it means for these things to happen and teaching them about like their property values. I had some really good conversations there where people were upset about certain things, but I'm like, well, your property values have gone up. So let's discuss what that means for you.
Sure.
You know, like in a way that you're not feeling like you're getting pushed out of an area,
Right.
but how do you adjust to this newness of the area?
Sure. Do you guys get together and talk real estate a lot, or do you try to separate church and state because you're all fed up with it at the end of the night?
Usually, depending on deals that we're doing, I usually call Vicky for a lot of advice. But we usually try to meet up like at least once a week to talk real estate deals Sunday nights. Our mom actually makes us meet up Sunday nights. So it's like an intervention, but we end up talking real estate.
The
Yeah.
Sunday mortgage meal.
right.
Talk race and what's going on in the
But
business.
yeah, some of our regular conversations do turn real estate, and then like the rest of the families, because we'll FaceTime a lot or be on conference calls a lot.
Sure.
They're like quiet on the end, and they're like, "Are you guys done yet? Or
Right.
can we go back?" Or
Right.
especially if my niece is on the phone, she's like, "I don't want to hear about these houses.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what are we doing today? Can we
Right.
go eat?" I'm like,
Now I know too, you guys have a lot of pets. A
Oh,
lot of exotic.
it was
pets.
blue at my house.
What do you guys have?
Right now, I have 2 dogs, Bulldog, Old English Bulldog, and a white boxer. And I also have 2 bunnies.
Okay.
Cat and dog.
So I have no pets living with me currently.
It's Vicky's here.
I took a cat in during the pandemic.
In Pilsen.
In Pilsen.
with a lot of support from my family on FaceTime, encouraging me, like, yeah, let the cat from outside inside your place. It's fine.
Right, right. From 35 miles away, it's instructing you what's a good idea. Right? That is true.
And so I bonded with this cat over time. She would come every day. I would feed her on the porch. Eventually, she moved in.
Like 6 months.
Yeah, it was a
Lord.
process. Eventually, she moved in and became just inside cat. Then I took her to our mom's house to visit. So if I would leave for more than a day, I would take her with me.
Right.
And at one point, my mother didn't let me bring her back. She just, but it's good. Her and the dog, I don't know if they want to say they get along.
Oh yeah,
But they keep each other company. So I felt like in her best interest to stay there so she could have the companion.
they love each other now.
So being pet owners of various breeds that you are too, do you see that coming into play when you're looking for properties for people that have pets?
Of course. I mean, whether it's renting or buying, people are just looking for space for their animals. Bigger living room, yard space. Just for the dogs to come outside.
Sure.
Definitely, a lot of people taking they take into account their kids and then their dogs.
Yeah, that's the
Right.
biggest decision maker.
Right. Yeah, unlike renting where it's a matter of will they even accept a pet? Where as a buyer, you're probably thinking, how do I, reconstruct this to fit my pet's needs too?
I was looking for space for my dog. Yeah.
What's of anyone that you've worked with too? Who had the most exotic pet that you've seen?
You have any? We were showing buyers, actually. We were showing buyers in St. Charles. And then we went to the basement to check out the basement. It's a huge hole in the wall. And there's a lot of hay. So I'm not sure if they had a small horse or actually a large rabbit. But it was a lot of hay and it was a big area. I was like, what is going on? Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
The animal wasn't there. But we had to just,
I went to one when I was looking for houses.
Yeah.
One of the houses I saw, it had a hen house, chicken coops.
Oh.
They were built for borderline.
Is this in the
farming.
suburbs
So-
or
suburbs? Yeah.
St. Charles? You
You
say
would-
that a lot. Yeah, St. Charles.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Grove, yeah. Do you have any pets?
I've had dogs in the past. Nothing right now.
Okay.
No, maybe in the future.
Too busy, right? Out of the house too much.
Low maintenance.
Yeah. You know what? My kids are gone now. We're empty nesters.
Enjoy it.
We tried with the rescue dog. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to be trying again soon.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but we'll see about that
Maybe
too.
a cat for the she said.
Was it?
Maybe a cat for here.
Yeah, right. Team Cat or something like that too. As far as the buyers that you're working with now too, what do you see the biggest challenges that they have right now? Is it the rates? Is it the down payment, or is it their credits?
Well, that's a good one. I feel like it's kind of this uncertainty with all of those things, right? So it's like, even if they have one or the other, it's a general sense of uncertainty right now amongst a lot of people. The rates is the one, though. That's the one that sticks out that people are, because no matter how good they do and prepare,
Right.
that's something that they can't control.
Right.
So that's been the big pushback of,
Right.
just I thought I would get this amount of house at this point for this amount of, money. And so the discussions are happening and people are realizing, like what's going on now. It's been enough time, but
Right.
that's our biggest pushback right
I
now.
can see it. I can see that too, especially right now too, with between government job layoffs, between the uncertainty with the markets and everything else too. Right, it's a challenge right now for people that weren't certain they wanted to move before. It might give them pause now. Hopefully we're seeing rates coming back down. As we speak,
They've been trickling a little bit from what you sent to me.
Except last week. Last week was a real crunch. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got here at 5:20 last Monday morning, expecting to have a boom refi day with what was going on, and it went the exact opposite.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't have to come in at 5:20 p.m., let alone 8.
Yeah, I know.
So,
But it's been taking just a lot of reshaping too, because there's still bidding wars. I'm showing for some agents and we're showing agents, and there's still like multiple offer situations.
right.
And those are things like control things you can control, which is sometimes the price. These
Right.
prices are really high as well.
Right.
So we try to work with our clients to try to get that price down, because we can't control the interest rates. You can definitely change it later on though.
Correct. Are you encouraging people to take alternative means as far as getting their offers accepted, in terms of, possibly having gifts lined up, possibly having assets contribute to them, something to prop them up and have a chance to win multiple offers? What do you find yourselves doing?
You want to answer? I definitely think you have to be creative, especially when you're up against so many other offers. and just trying to get the deal done. I definitely think you have to be a little bit more creative now.
Yeah, so we are definitely going all in, like, okay, what can we do? Like, hopefully we don't have to use all of these resources and tools,
Right.
but like,
But
let's know ahead of time, what do we have access to?
Right.
You know, like look into these different accounts that you have. What can you pull from, or what can't you?
Right.
We're trying not to, but we just need to know if you get into the situation where you really need this house,
Right.
what are our options?
Right. I always ask too, I'm always looking for aces in the holes.
Yeah.
Do you have someone that can give you a gift at the 12th hour if we need it?
Mhm.
Do you have a co-borrower that can go on if we need it too?
Yes.
So I agree. Having those stacked up initially helps you, because inevitably something comes up during the deal they weren't expecting.
Of course.
A judgment they didn't know about, a college loan that they didn't know about that's failing on there.
yeah,
Oh yeah, we've been getting a lot of that, a lot of surprises.
Sure.
yeah.
What do you guys have planned for the summer?
Honestly, looking to network a bunch and make more events.
Yeah, nice weather. We signed up for a 5K with my daughter Briella recently, so that's gonna be good. You practice for that because I haven't been training at all. I've been in the house with the dog, lazy.
Right.
Pretty fit day. Yeah. Yeah, I think just being out and about more. The last few years have been kind of just weird.
Right.
Like I think after the years of just being in the house because things were shut down, and then I don't know. I feel like the last couple of years were like a weird transition back to regular life.
Right.
So I just want to take advantage of Chicago this year. I love living in the city. So just like you said, getting out to different festivals, just making the most of the time. We have to make the most of the sunshine when we have it. So
Sure.
Yeah.
How if there's one thing that you could change about either the market or the way you work or the way that the industry is, what's your pain point?
Ooh,
That's a good question.
that is good. Oh,
Come on, we're recording live. We don't have this.
That's a good question.
I think for me, it's just like the transparency and having our clients understand that we're working for them.
Right.
Sometimes I think our clients are,
Hmm.
there's so much information coming to them from so many different places.
Right.
And some of the information is outdated or coming from resources that are not reliable.
Right.
So just helping our clients to understand, like, I'm in this for you.
Right.
Like first-time home buyers.
Yes, because I do think it's a confusing process. There's so many moving pieces. And if they could just, if agents can just be educated and have their resources and just truly represent their clients,
Right.
I just think that would make it easier because it is difficult when, like I said, you have information coming from so many different places. Things are changing constantly in our market.
Right.
So, someone who bought in your family last year
Right.
is following completely different things
Right,
than we're
right.
telling you to follow this year. And that could be difficult. So I think just transparency and the understanding of the market.
Right.
It just goes back to our background, having kids, having pets, and growing up in different areas. It
Sure.
helps us relate more to our clients.
Sure. Well, when I talk to people and I tell them like the three most important things are CIA, credit, income, assets, and it really is in that order.
It is.
Because if you don't have the credit score, you can't get a co-borrower or a gift to even get you in the property.
Yeah.
So it really is like, having those lined up, it's hard to get all three. You hope for 2 or 3 and you hope it's the top 2. The asset part, you could always get the gift of that. You can't increase someone's income without them getting a job in that too. So it is, I almost look at it as the credit and income as the parts you really have to hammer down on right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then the assets you get to massage along the way.
Along the way, figure out what they have.
Yeah.
As far as the company you work for, tell me more about them. What do they do that's great?
Go ahead.
What?
I feel like we're lucky to be at Exit. One thing I love about Exit Strategy Realty is that Nick offers tons of tools. At first, you're a little overwhelmed because there's so many tools, but once you go through them and figure out what works for my business, it's just like a well-oiled machine, Sure. Keep us pumped.
Sure.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. We have so many tools, so many resources, and I can really say our company has been ahead of the curve on all of the changes that have happened in the recent few years, where I've always felt prepared. And I feel like I'm helping other agents through the process sometimes, where I'm like, you need to come to our company because, you're on the other side of this deal and these things are not, the right way.
Right.
So I do like that we have a ton of support, lots of
Problems we
resources.
have, and then having like training just for that problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then it's just easy to get in touch with whoever we need to get in touch with, and we have answers right away. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Really responsive.
Nick offers so much coaching, and he's really easy to get a hold of as well.
Sure.
Setting up times for coaching calls and things like that. If you just have a basic question, anything that Vicky can't answer, because I call her for everything, you know. She's been there a little longer, but it's nice just to have that nice, like people that are older than you or been in the business longer to bounce ideas off of.
Sure. The Garay family, experts in the real estate business, experts in where to live in the city. Call us.